When it comes to Scorched Earth, there are rat holes hidden in every corner of the map, so we proudly present Top 10 Unseen Rat Holes on Scorched Earth Part 2. Coming at number 10, this first rat hole can be found at 48.4 latitude and 71.7 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this rat hole, the biggest reason why it's at number 10 is because it's very awkward, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. So this first little room, it's not that big of a room, and I've actually used a player reference just to kind of show you guys how big that these rooms are, because I saw a bunch of comments about that. So from now on, every single rat hole is going to have a player in there just to kind of show it off and to show the true size of it. Anyways, coming back in here, you have this tiny little entrance. The only way into this back area is either with a cryo or maybe a chair. I don't know. It's going to be a tricky one, but it is hard to get in here. Even the camera kind of struggles to get in here, but it opens up into this good sized room. It's not too big in here. However, it does make for a pretty decent base location. Now you have a second entrance up here. However, this entrance has like a barrier on it, so you actually can't really enter in through here unless you make yourself unconscious maybe. But even then, it's gonna definitely be a bit of a struggle. But overall, it's a pretty decent rat hole. Coming at number 9, this next rat hole can be found at 49.7 latitude and 42.5 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this is one of the crack rat holes, or spike rat holes if you want to call them that. I don't really know what you would call these things, but yeah, this rat hole is an okay one. I'll just say that right now. It's nothing too wild. However, it is another little area, so if you are looking to go raid some extra bases, here's another spot for you to go ahead and raid. You can't fit much in here. I mean, look at the size of the player and look at the size of the rat hole. It doesn't really work out too well. However, if you're looking to build into a nice little compact area, this will definitely be a pretty decent one for you. Coming at number 8, this next location can be found at 50.1 latitude and 26.7 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this rat hole, again, is another one of the spike rat holes. There are a bunch of these on the map, but yeah, this one is overall a pretty decent one. Only reason why I have it at number 8 is because, I'm going to be honest, the rest of these rat holes are about pretty much equal. I mean, there's nothing too crazy on this list. I will say now number 1 and 2 are pretty overpowered rat holes. However, there's a lot of these spikes on here. So anyways, this spike, I mean, it's a good sized base. You have a lot of room in here to work with. However, you do have a bit slanted on the front area of this little rat hole. However, it does make for a pretty good overall location to build in. And next up, coming at number 7, this can be found at 52.2 latitude and 41.8 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now, this again is another one of the spikes. I promise you this entire video is not just spikes. There's a couple other rat holes in here, but these ones are actually pretty decent areas to live in. So this one is much more slanted, as you can see here. The player standing straight up, and you can see the amount of slant on this rat hole. So it's definitely going to be a tricky one to build in for sure, but if you're all out of other rat holes to build in and every one of these other spikes has already been taken, this is another good backup for you to work with. And coming at number 6, this next one can be found at 37.2 latitude and 50.4 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now again, this is another one of the spike rat holes. Like I said in the last one, I promise you these are not all spikes, just a lot of them are. This one, I will admit, is one of the better ones. So it is a little bit more flat. It's still a little bit slanted though, so it's going to be tricky to work with, but this one's pretty big. I mean, you have a good amount of room in here. You can fit quite a bit of stuff. I mean, indie forges are definitely fitting in every single one of these except for the first one. But yeah, overall, there's nothing too much different about this one compared to the last one. It's just another rat hole for you to build in. Want a chance to win this entire case of seltzers? This video is sponsored by Mitra9. Mitra9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. We are giving away this whole case of kava seltzers. To enter, just go to mitra9.com and purchase anything using my code Outcasts. Once purchased, send me an email with a photo of your order number, and you are entered into the giveaway. Winner will be announced on June 1st, 2024. And coming at number 5, this next rat hole can be found at 48.7 latitude and 30.9 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one is another spike rat hole. However, this one's a little bit different. So coming inside of here, as you can see, it is much flatter. I mean, this one's going to work a lot better for you to build in. You can fit indie forges in here. You can fit just about anything in here. Lots of room to work with as well. Personally, if I were you, I'd put the base all the way into the very back and probably count 10 to 15 foundations, then start building. Just because it really stops a lot of people from really getting into here. I mean, these things are going to be overpowered, so definitely try to claim one of these rat holes before they're all taken. Coming in number 4, this next rat hole can be found at 52 latitude and 29 longitude. And then here it is on the map. And guess what? You called it, another spike rat hole. I promise this is the second to last one, I believe. Anyways, coming inside of this one, the reason why I have this numbered at where it is because of how far down that this one goes. So if you can build a proper turret wall or even just spam turrets, surprisingly, it's going to be a little difficult to raid this one. Yes, you have less room in the back here to work with, but I don't know what it is about raiding something going downwards. It's always, at least for me, it's always a pretty big struggle to get into the base. So that's the biggest reason why I have this one at this, and overall, pretty good area too. You have 2 more of these right next to you. So if you can claim all 3 of them, you're set. I mean, you're pretty much set on that. Coming at number 3, this next rat hole can be found at 62.5 latitude and 60.5 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now finally guys, we have a different kind of rat hole. It's not a spike. This is actually a pretty hidden one. I was shocked whenever I found this. This is our first water rat hole on Scorched, except for the one by, I think, Red Ob. But yeah, this one's actually pretty decent. Only issue with getting in here, you need a cryo or a chair. That is the only way in here. Now, there's a rock that kind of blocks you from getting in, but overall, it's a pretty good rat hole. I mean, look at the size of this thing compared to my player over there. You have a lot of room to work with. It's still going to be a little bit of a compact one. I would also worry about mesh biting. I mean, mesh biting is definitely going to be an issue in here because you have the mesh right above you. However, you can't fit any indie forges in here. That's the only downside of that. But overall, it does work for a pretty decent rat hole. Coming at number 2, this rat hole can be found at 48.2 latitude and 35.7 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this is the last crack rat hole on here, I promise. Anyways, this one is pretty, actually, I take that back. There's one more crack, and you'll see this afterwards. That sounds really weird. Anyways, this one is overall a pretty decent one. The only downside, it's a little awkwardly flat in some areas and then somewhat not. Like if you kind of look at it, it's got little angles on it. However, this one goes very far back. It goes much farther back than the majority of them. So that's why I kind of have it at number 2. And to be honest, the majority of these cracks are all about the same, just different angles. So, oh, yeah, that's really not going to sound good whenever this video goes up. But anyways, that's it for this rat hole. And finally, coming at number 1, this last one can be found at 36.4 latitude and 49.2 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this final crack, or whatever you want to call these things, I don't know. This one's actually pretty overpowered. Once cliff platforms come out, this one's going to be insane. The only downside is that this one is straight on the ground. However, the upside is raiding up, I don't know how to say this. If you raid up into a cave or into any kind of rat hole, it is very, very, very hard to do. If you have tech turrets in here, I guarantee you that you are chilling. Tons of room to work with. Overall, a really good rat hole. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and I'll see y'all later.